Hey guys, how's it going today? It's your boy BurkCrown88 coming at you with another YouTube video, and today is going to be on MSPs again. We did an MSP video on the most impactful players, or your favorite MSPs, or mine at least, and I had good feedback, and even some people wanted to know about the biggest busts. So what were the biggest busts, in my opinion, or the biggest misses that could have been great cards for NHL 23 MSPs. So we're going to get into that, guys. I hope you do enjoy it. I hope you've been enjoying the video so far. If you have, leave it in the comment section down below. Give it a like with that little thumbs up. And if you are new here and you haven't subbed yet, guys, 85% of people watching my videos aren't subs. So if you did like it, hit that sub button and notification bell. It means a lot to me, and it makes it so you don't miss anything in the future. Well, let's get into it, guys. I hope you do enjoy the biggest busts of NHL 23. Now, with that being said, again, guys, this is my opinion. This is what I have experienced in the game, I've seen in the game, and things that when I look at a card, what is the first thing that I see that I notice that's like, hey, this is what bummed me out about this card, this is what makes this card a miss, or just in general, this card played like a bust, even though it looked fantastic. Spotlight has nothing wrong with Spotlight. Spotlight, there was cards in there that was short, but you knew that, so it wouldn't, you're not going to make Johnny Hockey a bust because he's short, and he played well at the time. So Spotlight, I liked everyone in there. Milestone, on the other hand, the one milestone card that I really didn't enjoy too much and really thought was a miss was Oliver Ekman-Larsson. He had 89 speed and no truculence. And why I bring up the 89 speed is because his 81 had 85 speed. So I figure, I know it's early in the year, but his 89 MSP should have had at least 91 speed, 92 speed. But, with the speed and the truculence, that's why I felt the Oliver Ekman-Larsson card was a little bit of a miss and a bust as an MSP. Now, when it comes to Quinn Hughes, he had 94 speed, which is great. We know he's 5'10", so it is on the smaller side. But with that balance and endurance of 87 and 88, it absolutely made this card unusable. You would be anywhere with Quinn Hughes, your end, neutral zone. But if he had the puck, he was getting bumped off of it. Or if you're near somebody with the puck, 82 body checking with 85 strength, he wasn't moving anybody. This Quinn Hughes card was a huge miss. Now, again, you can't fault a player for his size, but they could have built it a little better, where maybe they gave him 90 endurance, 90 balance with like 85 body check and 89 strength. They could have jumped it up a little bit and pulled his hands down or something else down a little bit just to help this card out, or at least give him unstoppable force. That would have helped him out, right? So this card, being an offensive player, didn't get the ability and unstoppable force that he should have gotten, which made this card unusable. We are going to stay in spreadsheet for William Karlsson. Now, William Karlsson isn't that huge, sexy name, which not all MSPs have to be that huge, fantastic name, that breaking the headlines name. But if you're going to give us a name like William Karlsson or Wild Bill, he's sort of like a fan base name, right? Like Quinn Hughes, you'll have other fans like New Jersey fans or Colorado fans or whoever. You'll have other fans that'll want to grab the Quinn Hughes, so that was why that was a bust. But when it comes to like William Karlsson, it seems like a very small player base of people that will be a fan of this card. So what you need to do at that point is give him the great abilities. Like if he had have gotten unstoppable force close quarters, it would have made this card unreal. So the card itself wasn't a flop or a bust, but the ability builds were, in my opinion, because it didn't give you any incentive to go and get this card or try it. So that's why this card is a bust, in my opinion, is on abilities. Nations of Hockey. He did not get truculence. And when you have a 6'2" defenseman, you need truculence. It was the one thing that kept this card away. Like his 89 speed, sure, Chabot is a little slower on the defensive end, but he's got that size. Now, when you get that size, you want truck. You want to be able to use this card and just plow people over if that's how they're building it. And they just didn't give him the one ability he needed to make him a chasing card or a good card. And that's what made him a flop and a bust in this. Now, I know they can't give everyone truck, but they can be situational with it, right? If you got an offensive defenseman like Quinn Hughes, you give him unstoppable force. Or you give him something to help pick him up. Or when you got a big bruiser that's slow, you gotta give him truck. Now, this one might be where I catch a little heat. Joe Sakic. There was people that liked this card. There was people that used this card. And it's not his abilities. Make it snappy, snipe, elite edges were great. Where I didn't like this card was his endurance and his balance. 86 balance was terrible. He could get bumped off the puck so easily. And then the 86 endurance, this card was always gassed. and people with no speed were catching this card. So this card being 5'11" with no speed, no endurance, and no balance, absolutely threw it to the wayside for me. Unusable, unplayable, and did not build. And that's why I considered this card a bust. Next gen. There was one card in the next gen that I built all the way up. I was super excited for it, as a lot of people were. 93 overall. 6'3", 91 speed, close quarters, 97 strength, 93 balance. This card screamed gonna be good for multiple months in Sluggish. But what happened? This Sluggish card could get bumped off the puck. He felt sluggish. He did not play like his build. And that's when another bust comes into play. When a card looks fantastic, has a fantastic build, you get it out on the ice and it plays like he's skating in concrete. And I'm not just talking about one game. I'm talking about I played like 30, 40, 50 games with this card, and it was terrible, making him a big bust on this list. We are going to skip trade deadline because there wasn't really anything in there that jumped out at me as terrible, but there was in clutch moments. Again, big player, big name, fantastic build. But when I was out on the ice and I would try to hit people with this Pietrangelo, again, he struggled to do anything. I would take runs, people would be bouncing off. I'd take bumps, people would just push right through it. This card felt like, again, truculence. It's a theme with defense. Truculence is needed when L2 was as powerful as it was. If your defense did not have truculence, it was a bust, a wash, a wipe. And this card, if it had truculence, would have been used by everybody for months, which is the miss that I was talking about at the start of this video, where a bust can be a miss, and this is a bust because of the miss on truculence. 6'3", 92 speed with skating synergies to get it up to 94. This card had great potential. Now again, another one of those cards that played absolutely sluggish when it had every opportunity to be fantastic. No contest, close quarters, big tipper, and truculence on a 6'3" frame, 94 speed, and you could have gotten it up to 96 speed. Fantastic card. Looked like it was going to be game-changing, game-breaking with 96 speed and all the abilities you were chasing at that time, just to be a whiff. Not used by anybody, and because when you tried using the card, you were just dragging heels out there. You were sluggish, you weren't moving, and I don't know, other than acceleration, agility, and speed, I don't know what determines why a player is sluggish like that, because all of his individual stats look amazing. So I don't know what determined this guy would just skate like he's got an anchor tied to his waist. But it was a bust, and Andrew Ladd was not used by many for very long. This is gonna be our second last one here, and this one isn't gonna be a player, it is gonna be the event or the entire category itself in Hut Millennium. Now I'm gonna bring this up, but I'm not saying these cards were terrible. Crosby, Foote, Iginla, Nash, Blake, and Alfredson, Thornton, like none of these cards were bad. They were all great cards and they all played fantastic. But the one problem with this event was the two master players, Pronger and Sundin. Because they were so good and everybody wanted them, these MSPs turned into collectibles. They're not cards you've seen. You didn't see. Jerome Iginla was a fantastic card that you never got a chance to see. And Crosby, fantastic card you didn't see. Nash, you didn't get to see. And it's because everybody just got them, didn't power them up and use them, and they turned them into Sundin or Pronger. So these cards didn't have a chance to be great, which made them the bust that they are, this whole event. Now, mind you, I loved the event. The sets, the MSPs to build the set, to make the master MSP was great. I love the idea. It gave you something to chase. And I'm not saying they need to get rid of it. I'm not saying they need to tweak it or change it at all. I'm just saying that the MSPs didn't have a chance to show us what they could do because they were all exchanged immediately. And that, to me, is why it's a bust. The event is not a bust. It's just, if it makes sense to you what I'm trying to say, then I hope it does, because I don't think I'm getting it across. I loved the event. Getting MSPs to build master MSPs was fantastic, but you didn't get to see Alfredson and all the good guys because they were just turned in. That part of it, how it turned out, was the bust. And then this is going to come down to another one. Tage Thompson, and it's not the bust of turning it in for a Tage Thompson, it's the bust of that Tage Thompson did not work out to be what everyone thought he was going to be. Close quarters, make it snappy, 6'6". Everything was crazy. You can make his speed 99. You had this card at a 99, but unfortunately, if you sneezed on him, he would fall down, lose the puck, and the play would go the other way. So this Tage Thompson was really unused. People would build it, and everybody that built it was disappointed in it immediately, and all you heard everywhere was this card bumped off the puck so easily, and every time I played it, you would just touch him, and it didn't matter who you touched him with, it would blow him off the puck. That's what made this Tage Thompson a bust. So guys, that is my list of the unfortunate misses and busts of NHL 23 MSPs. At this point, we're just waiting for NHL 24, really. We're going over, we're reviewing everything that we've seen at NHL 23, what it had, what it offered, what we liked, what we didn't like, and just things in general. So I do appreciate you guys hanging out watching the video. I hope you did like the list. If it didn't reflect your list or match your list, leave in the comment section down below who you had, who you liked, who you had, who you didn't like, and if you have anything else, and don't forget to leave in the comment section down below with other things in the game that you liked or didn't like. But anyways, guys, till next time, ciao, ciao.